Hello everyone and welcome back MMA News Channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Today, we should get everything rolling with Dana White tends to bits of gossip about understanding content. Bryce Mitchell's disputable remarks on the main episode of his Arc and Mental Soundness webcast prompted Dana White instantly tending to the matter while talking with media individuals, persuading many fans to think that he was perusing a prearranged assertion from the managers at Technical Knockout. What's more, before we proceed, make a point to pass on a like on the video to assist with supporting the channel. During an appearance on the Exhaust Carlson show delivered on Monday, White tended to the circumstance, disproving bits of gossip that he was perusing a prearranged assertion. Dislike, we got a lot of legal counselors on the telephone, and we didn't. You know, I did. I got on Google, and I fired looking into World 2 and, remind Bryce Mitchell on what a piece of was. Alright, we should and why he's not a hero and why you would have no desire to go fishing with him. What's more, and that was all there was to it. I saw individuals saying, gracious, he read a can. I never read canned proclamations. No one composes anything for myself, and legal advisors are never involved when I go out and talk. While Dana was really condemning of Mitchell, it doesn't seem as though he will get suspended or delivered for his remarks. At the time he tended to media individuals, White said that the most outstanding aspect of MMA is that Mitchell could end up getting what's coming to him inside the octagon. In the interim, Mitchell has delivered an expression of remorse of his own, trying to put the entire circumstance behind him. Islam Makhachev next UFC battle gets spilled. Islam Makhachev could have told media individuals after his success over Renato Moicano that his next adversary wouldn't be Arman Tsarukyan, Charles Oliveira, or Ilia Topuria. Yet, as indicated by one web-based entertainment client who professes to have inside data, a battle among Makhachev and Topuria is 100% occurring. I have inside data that Topuria versus Makhachev is 100% occurring. Date and area TBA thinking about that Makhachev had expressed his next battle wouldn't involve Topuria, and the UFC presently can't seem to report anything in regards to the battle. The MMA People group appears to be to some degree doubtful about the declaration. Nonetheless, the source multiplied down. I don't tweet battle declarations without affirmations, as indicated by one individual from the MMA world. Despite the fact that Ilia Topuria has recently come out on top for championship protection on his resume, a success for Makhachev would be the greatest of his profession and toss him into the GOAT discussion. Islam Makhachev beating Ilia Topuria would be the greatest win of his profession. Taking into account what Ilia has done as such far, the success in addition to what Makhachev has previously done tosses Islam squarely into the GOAT discussion, as I would like to think. Considering that Dana White had prodded something important for Islam Makhachev, it'll be fascinating to check whether a battle with El Bullfighter gets concluded. MMA People group not content with Conor McGregor for film. Conor McGregor ended up in one more popular occurrence this week, with the previous champion standing out as truly newsworthy for spitting on a fan who was reciting "We Should Go, Habib," as he strolled by. Film of the circumstance rushed to advance around the MMA world, showing McGregor pivoting and approaching the smiling fan prior to spitting all over 2 times and leaving. Yo, McGregor, might I at any point get an image? The MMA People group rushed to say something regarding what is going on, with one fan calling attention to that in the wake of submitting McGregor, Khabib spit on him. One more added Khabib spits on Conor. Conor spits on Khabib fan. Others reprimanded McGregor. Gracious goodness. What a troublemaker. A previous best on the planet in MMA spitting notwithstanding a regular citizen. He didn't express anything to affront him. All he did was notice the person that beat him in an MMA session. He has such a delicate self-image for somebody who's rich and achieved. One composed. Conor necessities to remain on his yacht. Simply continues to make a humiliation of himself and his heritage. Some figure the savage may be in for payday. Amazing, simple claim. One more shown up, adding claim and contingent upon where this is, an intense offense charge. Others concurred. This is thought of, and it's on camera totally obvious. He can sue Conor, and I genuinely want to believe that he does. One answered. Claim. Time to guarantee that appropriate 12 cash. Whoever you are, don't bobble this pack. One more fan highlighted the way that the fan could do nothing regardless of whether he needed to. What a washout, brother. Tormenting individuals when you can battle and have security is low. A few fans are simply finished with McGregor totally. Conor have to be one of the most horrendously terrible individuals to at any point be given a stage. Jake's safeguards, be that as it may, shielded Conor McGregor. I'm not a Conor fan. Yet in the event that you come into his own space and irreverence him, you have the right to get spit on the off chance that not took out. Others disparaged. This man is a mobile CT. Motivations not to mishandle. Bored considering Dana White's most recent remarks after McGregor's profoundly dubious post last week, it's impossible to tell when McGregor will at any point get back to the UFC octagon. From the vibes of things, however, more fans are beginning to turn on the previous winter champion. Yuri Prochaska uncovers next expected rivals. With a major success over Jamal Slope at UFC 311, Yuri Prochaska is presently sitting near the very edge of title dispute. With Magomed set to battle for the belt toward the beginning of spring, Prochaska is anxious to get himself a set of 3 battle with Padilla. The central issue, obviously, is what's next for the previous boss? During an appearance on the Overdog's digital broadcast this week, Prochaska talked about the circumstance. With Alex, I might want to battle him like a next rival. However, at this moment, I would rather not push him. If the UFC dealings about that has any desire to demonstrate me with some adversary, like I said, I see the 3 people there from top 5. There's Alex. There's Ankalaev, and third one is Jan Blachowicz on the grounds that he showed a truly decent exhibition against Alex as well. So one of these 3 for me, I might want to stand, and for me it's at the present time, similar to this year. I realize I'm going to the upper at this moment, and simply give me a few rivals, and I will need to demonstrate that. I need to show that I'm the hero. Subsequent to requiring 18 months off following his UFC 291 misfortune to Alex Pereira and going through twofold shoulder medical procedures, Jan Blachowicz is hoping to get back in the success section 1 month from now when he goes head-to-head with Carlos Ulberg. Given the rankings, the victor of that battle could end up battling Yuri Prochaska. UFC battle updates with Battle Week in progress. We should investigate the present UFC battle updates, beginning with a battle between Yang Xiaonan and Verna Jandiroba for the UFC 314 card this approaching April. Xiaonan's new off a choice success over Tabitha back in November. On the other side, Jandiroba's on a mission to make it 4 in succession after an armbar triumph over Amanda Lemos in her last battle. We additionally have 2 new options to the UFC Kansas City Battle Night card set to happen in late April. First up on the card, we have a battle between Ahmad Hanzazada and Mitch Ramirez, where Hanzazada will be hoping to get his most memorable success in the UFC after a success on Dana White's Competitor Series in September. On the other side, Ramirez will hope to quickly return from a misfortune to Thiago Moises in his UFC debut last walk. Lastly, in the strawweight division, Jacqueline Omrim will battle Polyana Viana. Omrim will be hoping to make it 4 in succession after a success over Vanessa Demopoulos in her last battle, while Diana will hope to snap a 2-battle slide that saw her wrapped up by Jillian Robertson early keep-going year, Alexander Volkanovski on cornering against Ilia Topuria at UFC 312. This weekend, Alexander Volkanovski will mentor against Ilia Topuria at UFC 312 when Volk's colleague Colby Thickness goes head-to-head with Topuria's sibling Alexander. Initially, Topuria was set to battle Cody Hatton. Yet, when he took out without prior warning, UFC asked Thickness, who's undefeated, assuming that he'd step in and make his UFC debut without prior warning. Thickness has prepared with Volk since he was a teen, and after at first discussing that he was so eager to see a long-lasting preparation accomplice make his UFC debut, Volkanovski opened up on training inverse the featherweight champion in the primary UFC 312 implanted episode of this current week. will be in the corner, which will be cool. Consistently in my corner all through my profession, so it's great to simply show up for his. Then, at that point, you have Ilya, who will be in Alexander Topusia's corner also, so that is cool. I couldn't say whether that is at any point happened where two presentation folks have, champion, previous boss, ace mentors like Joe and his mentors. It's cool. There's been a great deal of promotion encompassing Alexander Topusia for a long while now. Nonetheless, he's been centered around assisting his more youthful sibling with establishing his place as the featherweight champ. Thus, he hasn't battled since May of 2023. Be that as it may, this Saturday, he'll get an opportunity to say something in his UFC debut before Thickness old neighborhood fans. Warrior eliminated from the UFC list. In the initial battle of this previous end of the week's card in Saudi Arabia, Jamal Pogues ended up dropping a choice to Hamdi Abdulwahab. While Pogues and a lot of fans generally felt that he was ransacked and ought to have been given the W, the UFC medal apparently clashes. On Monday, the computerized UFC program tracker informed fans that Pogues had been taken out from the advancements list after the split-choice misfortune. Following Saturday's misfortune, Pogues' UFC record was 2-2 with a choice triumph over Josh Parisian back in 2023 and a choice win over Thomas Peterson in 2024. In a video delivered on his Instagram story just after the misfortune on Saturday, Poe said he got burglarized in the last battle on his agreement. It's not exactly a lot to say, man, when you battle an individual's country, they go pick the old neighborhood fellow. I realize I won 2-3. Other than that, man, I...